Welcome back to the channel. When we think about coins, the smallest denominations often go unnoticed. People overlook them, dismissing them as loose change of little value. But when we look deeper, even the tiniest coin can tell us a rich story about history, design, and everyday life. One such coin is the Malaysia 1 Sen issued in 2006, a piece that may be tiny in size but holds significance in the nation's numismatic journey. The Malaysian ringgit and sen system was introduced in 1967, replacing the Malaya and British Borneo dollar. From that moment, the sen coins became an everyday part of the country's economic life. The 1 sen, being the smallest unit, was indispensable in the early years of decimal currency. By 2006, however, its role had begun to change, and this coin represented both continuity and the beginning of the end for the denomination. The 2006 1 sen coin belongs to Malaysia's second coin series, which was introduced in 1989 and lasted until 2011. This series included redesigned motifs and updated specifications, making it a familiar part of Malaysian wallets for more than 2 decades. The 1 sen was the smallest coin in this family, but it was just as carefully crafted as its higher-value counterparts. On the obverse side, the 2006 1 sen features the bunga raya, Malaysia's national flower, also known as the hibiscus. The hibiscus was declared the national flower in 1960 and symbolizes unity, strength, and cultural pride. Its appearance on the smallest coin was not only a design choice but also a reminder that every denomination, no matter how small, carried national meaning. The reverse side of the coin is much simpler, displaying the denomination 1 sen prominently in the center, with the year 2006 placed below. Around the edge are the words Bank Negara Malaysia, the country's central bank. The design was intentionally straightforward, ensuring that the coin was easy to identify during quick transactions and accessible to people of all ages. Physically, the 2006 1 sen coin was very small and light. It measured only 17.78 millimeters in diameter and weighed just 1.74 grams. The coin was struck in copper-plated steel, giving it a reddish-brown appearance similar to older bronze coins but at a much cheaper production cost. Its plain edge made it different from the larger denominations, which often had reeded or grooved edges. This change to copper-plated steel had been introduced in the late 1980s as part of the second coin series. The material choice reflected practical concerns. The government needed to reduce minting costs, especially for the smallest denominations. By 2006, this shift had proven successful, but it also highlighted how little buying power the 1 sen actually had in the modern economy. In the 1970s and 1980s, the 1 sen was important for small transactions. But by 2006, inflation had reduced its usefulness, and many Malaysians saw it as a nuisance rather than a necessity. Shopkeepers and customers alike often avoided using the coin, leaving it to pile up in drawers or jars at home. Despite its low value, the coin still carried symbolic weight. It represented precision in pricing and the government's commitment to a complete currency system. For collectors, the 2006 1 sen coin is part of an interesting era. It was among the last years when the 1 sen was still produced in significant numbers for circulation. Just a few years later, the denomination would be officially phased out. This gives the 2006 issue a special place in Malaysian coinage, serving as a marker of the final phase of the 1 sen's everyday life. Although it is common and not rare, uncirculated or proof specimens of the 2006 1 sen can still be of interest to numismatists. For anyone building a full set of Malaysian coins, this issue is essential. It bridges the gap between the early decimal era designs and the complete redesign of the third coin series, which was launched in 2012 with new motifs and updated specifications. One of the most important points about the 2006 1 sen is its role in teaching us about the economy. Its declining relevance showed how inflation impacts small denominations, eventually making them more expensive to produce than their actual value. By 2008, many Malaysians already recognized that the 1 sen coin was on its way out, and by 2010, its circulation was minimal. The official withdrawal came in 2012, when Malaysia stopped using the 1 sen altogether. Looking back, the 2006 coin feels like a piece of nostalgia. For older Malaysians, it recalls a time when coins jingled more heavily in their pockets, and when every sen mattered in daily transactions. For children of that era, the 1 sen often appeared in piggy banks and as part of small savings habits that taught financial responsibility. In this way, the coin connects generations with shared memories. The design of the 1 sen was sometimes criticized for being too simple compared to other denominations, but simplicity was part of its charm. The hibiscus on the obverse gave it identity, while the clear 1 sen made it practical. It served its function well, both as money and as a piece of national symbolism. In the broader story of Malaysian coinage, the 2006 1 sen coin represents the last days of an era. It was one of the final times this tiny denomination was widely minted and circulated before economic realities caught up with it. Though worth almost nothing in monetary terms, it has grown in historical value as a reminder of how even the smallest unit once played a big role in daily life. So, the next time you come across a 2006 1 sen coin, don't overlook it. Think of the hibiscus it carries, the hands it passed through, and the role it played in Malaysia's economy. What was once dismissed as small change now stands as a small but meaningful chapter in the nation's monetary history.